Hi guys, I hope you've had a good week. We're going to get started with our pitch activity this week, and it's going to be a lot of listening, so I hope your listening ears are turned on. We're going to get started by listening to a piece of music called The Aquarium by Sanson. It's a piece of music that he wrote to describe fish swimming in an aquarium, so it's like a large fish tank. When you listen to the track, I want you to kind of lie on the floor if you can, close your eyes and listen to the music and see if it can create a picture in your mind. So really listen to the different sounds and see if it makes you think of fish swimming around in the water. And I also want you to concentrate on how the pitch of the music, how the notes go up and down. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next part of the activity. And whilst I know this is a pitch activity, we're just going to have a think about the structure of that piece of music, how the music is kind of built and put together. In your activity pack on page 4, you'll find a picture that looks a bit like this. And I've used it to try and explain and try and show how there's different sections of the music. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off and we're going to listen to the music for the fish sections, and then what we'll do is I'll then play the music for the plants. Okay, and then when we've done that, we'll listen to the whole piece of music again and see if you can hear the different sections being put together to make the whole piece of music. Okay, did you manage to spot where the different sections of the music were? If not, don't worry. What I suggest is that you make up a different hand action for the different parts of the music. So you could do kind of fish, and then I don't know what you could do for weeds, whether it's just like wiggly fingers. So you can swap between the two, and it'll help you kind of hear when the music changes. Okay. I do have an extra challenge for you this week to do with that piece of music. I'd like you to see if you can make up a dance to go with it. So you won't be jumping around and leaping around like you would to, I don't know, say like Dance Monkey, but it'll be much smoother movements, and see if you can mimic fish swimming around in the water. This week's singing challenge is to sing 1 in a Million from Sing Up. I hope you enjoy it. This week we are doing a sounds exploration activity, which is changing from last week's performance activity. We're going to have a look at how music and sounds are used in storytelling. So the first part of our activity this week is to listen to a piece of music and then match it to the fairy tale pictures that you can find on page 7 of your music activity pack. Okay, so they look something like this. So we've got the Sugar Plum Fairy, so it's the fairy with the pictures of all the sweets. We have a wizard in a castle, and I don't know if you can see the storm with the lightning. And then at the bottom we have a princess sleeping in her bed. So I think that is supposed to be Sleeping Beauty. Okay, so let's have a listen to the music and see if you can match the music to the story. So next we are going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to try to perform some sections of a rap. Now these are linked to a story that again you'll find on page 8 of your activity pack. Let me just try and hide the answer a bit. Okay, so this is the picture. Can you guess what the story is going to be? Okay, if you guessed 3 Little Pigs, you'd be right. Now I know some of you are kind of quite grown up, and the 3 Little Pigs might be a story that you associate with very little children, but it's a great story for making different sounds. So I'm going to tell you the sounds that you will need to join in with the rap, and then when you've practiced it, if you want to perform it to your friends and family, you can. Okay, so we all know that there's 3 houses that the pigs build, and the first one is the house of straw. So if you've ever moved straw, you'll know it makes a bit of a sh 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 sound. Okay, so the sound that you'll need to make for your rap is sh sh sh. Okay, then moving on to the house of sticks, we know that's the house that the second little pig builds, and if you tap sticks together, they can make a bit of a clicking sound. So the sound you need is click, or if you can click your tongue, even better. Okay, then we have the house of bricks. So that's the third little pig's house. And for that, we are just going to say the word build. So it goes build, build. Okay, and then we need some sounds for the big bad wolf. So when the wolf comes into the rap, you are going to need to remember the words climb and splash. So if you know the story, that's where he's climbing up onto the roof because he can't blow the brick house down, and he goes down the chimney and lands with a big splash in the pot of water that the pigs put there. Okay, so I'm going to play the rap for you, and I'd like you to see if you can remember those sounds and rap along.
Once upon a time in a faraway wood, there were 3 little pigs who decided they could build a house, one each. Straw, sticks, bricks, but the bad old wolf was up to his tricks. So the first little pig built this house of straw. He put in the windows, he put in the door. Along came the wolf on his way back from town. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. And he did. So the second little pig built his house of sticks. Click, 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 click. He didn't want straw and he didn't want bricks. Click, 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 click. Along came the wolf on his way back from town. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. And he did. Now the third little pig built his house of bricks. Build, 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 build. He knew that the wolf would be up to his tricks. Build, 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 build. Along came the wolf on his way back from town. Huff, puff, I can't blow it down. Huff, puff, I can't blow it down. Huff, puff, I can't blow it down. No, I couldn't. The wolf climbed up to the highest spot. Climb, 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 climb. He fell down the chimney and dropped in the pot. Splash, 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 splash. So the 3 little pigs sent the wolf back to town. Oink, oink, oink. You couldn't blow it down. So the 3 little pigs sent the wolf back to town. Oink, oink, oink. You couldn't blow it down. No, you couldn't.
Oink, oink, oink.
Okay, so moving on. I hope you guys enjoyed the rap because we're going to need some instruments or some objects that are going to make some sounds to go along with the rap. So in your activity book, still on page 8, there is a picture with some ideas for the sounds that you need to make. So you can see the sh, the click, the build, which is a drum, and then climb and splash. So what I'd like you to do is see if you can find some instruments around the house or some objects that can make similar sounds. Don't worry if they're not perfect. And we are going to then have a try. So come back soon. Okay, welcome back guys. I hope you've managed to find something to make the sounds for the rap. So I have found a few bits and pieces which I'm going to share with you. So in the activity pack for the sh sound, there is a picture of an instrument called a cabasa. Now I thought I had one, but I can't find it anywhere. So instead I'm going to use a maraca. Okay. It makes a nice shush sound when I just spin it, whereas it's quite a harsh sound when I do that. Again, I don't know if you remember from the lesson last week, you can make your own. So it's just a little tub, and then the rice that's inside it, if I can get the lid off, is just dried. It's not cooked, so it's nice and kind of rattly. So again, you can find different ways to make the sounds. Okay. For the click sound, I have got some castanets. Now I've got 2 different types. I have a plastic set, which make quite a nice sound, and then I've actually got wooden ones, you'll have to forgive me if they're a ladybird, but they make a completely different sound. Okay, so if we remember, the clicking was for the house of sticks. So I think over those two sounds, I'd probably select the wooden one. Okay, sounds a bit more like wood and sticks. Okay, moving on. For the building, which is the brick house, I have got a little drum and I'm just going to bang on it. Okay, you could use just your hand. Okay, so again, different sounds, so just go with something that you really like. Let's have a look. Next is climbing. So I have a guiro for this and I'm just going to scrape it. So you can make it go up. Okay, and then for the splash, I'm going to use some very little cymbals. Now, if I could find big ones, then they might make a better splash sound, because then you'd be able to clack them together. But instead, I'm just going to go. Okay. So I hope you found lots of instruments. We're going to play the rap again, and I'd like you to try and make the sounds with your instruments.
Once upon a time in a faraway wood, there were 3 little pigs who decided they could build a house, one each. Straw, sticks, bricks, but the bad old wolf was up to his tricks. So the first little pig built this house of straw. He put in the windows, he put in the door. Along came the wolf on his way back from town. Huff, puff, huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. And he did. So the second little pig built his house of sticks. Click, 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 click. He didn't want straw and he didn't want bricks. Click, 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 click. Along came the wolf on his way back from town. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. Huff, puff, I'll blow your house down. And he did. Now the third little pig built his house of bricks. Build, 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 build. He knew that the wolf would be up to his tricks. Build, 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 build. Along came the wolf on his way back from town. Huff, puff, I can't blow it down. Huff, puff, I can't blow it down. Huff, puff, I can't blow it down. No, I couldn't. The wolf climbed up to the highest spot. Climb, 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 climb. He fell down the chimney and dropped in the pot. Splash, 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 splash. So the 3 little pigs sent the wolf back to town. Oink, oink, oink. You couldn't blow it down. So the 3 little pigs sent the wolf back to town. Oink, oink, oink. You couldn't blow it down. No, you couldn't.